5 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour, and we're going to get into the conversation for today. For those of you who are interested in calling in later on, when we open the phone lines, you can do so by calling us at 465-2555, 465-2555, or 718-577-2916. Those are the numbers you call to participate in the conversation for today. It's the end of the week. Most of you have worked hard this week, and so you're happy, I think, that the week has come to an end, and it's time for you to relax and whatever you choose to do with your weekend, whether it's to work on a project that you've procrastinated on for quite some time, or whether it is to use that time to reflect on life and take a break from all that is happening in today's world, or whether it is to spend time with friends and family and the people who you love and the people who love you. Today I want to have an open conversation with you, the listeners of this program. From time to time I do so to allow people to call in and give their take and or view on matters of national interest, matters of national importance. And so that is what we are going to do today. And the phone lines are now open. You can call us now at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. I'm also going to monitor the live streams to see if any comments or any questions are shared there. But I want to have an open conversation with you, giving you the opportunity to raise something that is of national importance, whether it is something here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, or whether it is something on the regional stage, but it relates to St. Kitts and Nevis. I'm giving you the opportunity to do so. So you can call us and lend your voice to the conversation. While we await your calls, I want to just share quickly from the Independence 41 Committee. They are calling for fringe events, and so you're asked to please submit relevant details and description and proposal for your fringe event for this year's celebration of independence. You may do so by sending your proposal to independenceskn@gmail.com. So that's independenceskn@gmail.com. We have our first caller for this morning, so let's take this call. Gone? Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. The phone lines remain open, and we are taking your calls. 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. So yes, the Independence 41 Committee, they are calling for fringe events. Okay, we have the caller. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Devonne.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Now we into the hurricane season.
Mm-hmm.
I am sending out a request for somebody in authority to check the guts them and see what can be done for in case that we have any great hurricane storm. Because in St. Peter's, I'm talking about St. Peter's, the gut that come from Bayford's orgies go down to the airport. I want them to check and see all the water pathway down there where they have some house built down in the lower end. And I would like them to start to check on the whole of that gut. Somebody need to go and check at that gut. Because when there is a hurricane storm, a lot of water, Devon, just come down that area and to go to Canary. I need somebody to check it out because it's going to be devastating for some of those houses, I think, that build down there. So please, somebody in authority, please go and check on those houses Okay?
All right, caller, thank you so much for your contribution to the program. The phone lines remain open and we're taking your calls 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, we have officially entered the hurricane season, and the National Emergency Management Agency and the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, SIDEMA, have been collaborating over the past few months, weeks, and days to ensure that the region is ready to respond to this year's hurricane season. They recently held a press conference where they used the opportunity to update members of the media and the general public at large about some of the work that they have been doing. Now, NEMA here in St. Kitts and NDMD, that's the Nevis Disaster Management Department in Nevis, obviously, they released the shelter list in terms of the approved shelters, the capacity, and where they are located. They have said that they've been doing their work in ensuring that the shelters are up to par and everything basically is in order for the hurricane season. I don't like when people wait until the last minute to do a rush to get ready for the season. You don't know if we're going to get a strong hurricane that is going to cause damage, and so prevention is better than cure. Ensure that you are ready, your property is in order, so that in the event of a hurricane, you are not left in a very unfortunate situation. Yes, at times you prepare and things still don't work out as they should, but preparation is definitely key. So thank you, caller, so much for making that intervention, because I think it's also a message for SCELEC and the other entities as it relates to our power lines and the people who are responsible for making sure that the guts are not clogged and making sure that there are no tall trees or anything of that sort blocking power lines. These things need to be on the priority list as part of hurricane preparedness. It's 12 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour. You are listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. We are taking your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. As I mentioned earlier, it is more of an open discussion for today, giving you the opportunity to raise a matter or a topic of concern, matter of national importance that you'd like to comment on, or perhaps get others to give their take on as well. And as I mentioned, I do this from time to time to give you that opportunity. And, it's always good to hear from the listeners, to hear what is on their minds and what they would like to talk about. If we have no callers right now, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Mary J. Blige.
Alkaline.
Hey, I'm Cat from Third World.
Nicholas Blanker here.
I'm Freddie Jackson.
You already know what it is, Rose.
And this is your boy Ketty Dan inviting you to our annual St. Kitts Music Festival.
Yep, that's right. From June 27th to June 29th, Mary J. Blige, Alkaline, Third World, the Nicholas Blanker Band, Freddie Jackson, Rick Ross, and Ketty Dan will be joining Adamo, Akayu Sweet, T-Bone, I Tabulous, Easy, Speedy, Pumpa, Nadia Batson, Corwin Dubois, Mr. Mention, Asa Bantan, Small Axe Band, Michael Tasia.
This madness in the capital, so I feel like I'm running tongue again.
Kabaka Pyramid, Jados, Busy Signal, Tommy Lee Sparta, Cableton, Massacre, Greenhouse Band featuring Mishka, Highlight. Ramon Watson, Tony Rebel, Brianna D, and 450.
Can't stand with the mama, when I check it, when no man and next, find my
The 2024 St. Kitts Music Festival at the Warner Park Cricket Stadium, June 27th to June 29th. Big names with bigger vibes. This is where music meets paradise.
Delvin the Promoter and SKN Carnival Sugar Mass 53%.
Listen.
St. Kitts and Nevis 2024 Carnival Comedy Show. Performing live. Major High. Also featuring Vegas and Morris. Location, Carnival Village. December 7th, 2024. A night full of laughter. Showtime 8 p.m. Early bird special ends September 1st. Tickets on sale now at Jad Cash and online at eventbrite.com. Contact Delvin the promoter for more info. Email delvinf12@gmail.com.
Hello and welcome back to the program. You're listening to The Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne, Cornelius, and the phone lines are open. We are welcoming your calls. Call us and lend your voice to the contribution, or the conversation rather, that we're having. A caller recently made a contribution regarding the hurricane season and calling on the authorities or the powers that be to do something about the clearing of guts to ensure that the guts are not clogged. And I just wanted to add as well, those people responsible for the trimming of the trees and ensuring that these things are prepared, ensuring that we are prepared for the hurricane season. And it's never good to wait until the very last minute to do all of this rush. We know the hurricane season is from June to November every year. And so to wait weeks before, months before to say that we're doing planning is ridiculous. We need to begin planning very, very early. We have a call on the line, so we'll take this call. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. So I was making mention of Sedema and their press conference. Okay, we have a caller?
Yes.
Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Devon.
Yes, good morning.
According to what the first caller was speaking about, the guts them.
Mm-hmm.
If you could recall, Jamdong and Carl Brown and another guy from Keon, they were speaking about those same guts. They should be cleaned on a regular basis and do not wait until the hurricane season comes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it seemed like their suggestion went on black ears. And then the second thing, we in St. Kitts, not Nevis, because Nevis gone and leave us many hours ago, when it comes to putting a cricketer on the West Indies side. And we Kittitians, we are all proud of it. And I think it should be published more on our national radio station, ZIZ. The guy who make the West Indies team, Louis. Because you got some people in certain position in St. Kitts. If a lizard run in the house and they kill it, that they're going on the radio station, they're going to make news. And this cricketer thing is very, very important. All of us should be proud of it. Just like how we were proud when Kim Collins achieved the highest recorded fastest man in the world. That's the second thing. And the third one now, I heard it on a local radio station that the OECS countries, they're planning to form, or they already started forming, a political opposition party organization. So every country in the Caribbean, the OECS,
Mm-hmm.
every country that has an opposition party, they should have a representative to go there.
To go where?
To go to any conference that the opposition organization, political organization in the OECS country will be forming.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, in St. Kitts Nevis, we have Mark Brantley as the leader of the opposition. Well, will he be going to that any conference they have? Because, why I asked if he will be going, because he has never opposed nothing that been said in Parliament that was wrong. He never opposed nothing. And I remember a couple of years ago when Patrice Nisbet from Nevis, when he was the Attorney General, the same Mark Brantley used to curse and say, Patrice, come down and sink it. Go on in bed with the Labour Party, and he would not represent Nevis with nothing. Well, look where he is now. He right in the middle of the bed. So while you were pointing one finger at Patrice Nisbet, three were pointing back at him. So that's all I have to say today. And that is not right because you were in the cap of the opposition. At least when they do something wrong to the nation and the whole nation do not please agree with it because it is wrong, he's supposed to stand up as the leader and oppose that, and he ain't doing that. Mm-hmm. So I thank you, Devonne.
Yeah, before you go quickly, though, remember the name of the... You said it's a conference or something that's happening?
I heard it in the news. They were talking about a formation of the opposition parties in the OECS countries.
In the OS, okay.
Yeah, it seemed like they wanted to make it one body. Mm-hmm. So I'm listening to see if I can get more information on that. Mm-hmm. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, and thank you for your contribution to the program. I'll definitely look up on it as well as to get more information on it. Opposition, any opposition, I think in any real democracy, there must be opposition. And opposition is not just to simply oppose everything that the government is suggesting or proposing to do. But the opposition must provide or must join in the discourse and must give meaningful and different suggestions or ideas that actually make sense. And you don't want an opposition that is going to say yes to everything, or else that opposition is weak. And that's not what the people want. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Cornelius. How are you?
I am well, thanks. What about you?
I'm doing quite fine.
All right, good to hear.
All right, okay. My little contribution for today. I agree with all that is being said about Mr. Louis and him becoming the first person from Sinkis to make it to the West Indies team. I really do think that enough is not being done, enough is not being said to celebrate his achievement and the country think its achievement on a whole. Mm-hmm. And as we look forward to celebrating our what it is 41st independence, I trust and hope that he will be given some recognition during that time of celebration. Mm-hmm. All right, he's a young man. He's just about 24 years old, and I think he should be given some accolades. I don't think that enough is being done, and I don't want to be the devil's advocate, but if it was something bad that young man did, it would have been publicized more. All right, and I would just like you to look into the Kim Collins Stadium. Whereas I don't have a problem with Nevis or going to Nevis. We are now 6 months in. The sports term, the athletics season, is now a little dormant. We are having trials. I don't know if it is a financial issue, but I would like to know why is it that little or nothing is being said or done to rectify what's going on at Kim Collins Stadium, or bring it to some sort of readiness for some sort of athletic meet. Right?
You mean that works are still happening there?
I'm not sure. So I'm asking if you can find out as a journalist, if you can do some investigation and bring it to the fore for us, so we can find out what is really going on. If it is financing, if it is tendering, we don't know. But I just think that nothing is being done. I'm not seeing anything. We can't have a meet there. And just know, it's going to be January, and then we're going to be back in the season again. So, just would like you to look into that for me.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution to the program. Let's take this other call. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, Devonne.
Yes, go ahead.
Megan, I would like to join with the voices of Michael Louis, the cricketer that make it for the West Indies side from St. Kitts. I know his mother, I know his father. And I don't think I know him. No, he get big. I don't remember knowing him. I know when he's since he's small. But I don't think enough have been come out from the government sector and the cricket fraternity of that young man. I think that young man's name is supposed to be a highlight around the media and the television and all those things, because he have make effort for all other young men to channel the energy that they can take sport up instead of the bad behavior that they're going with. And if he can make it, I know it's not an easy task for he reach where he reached, because I know his father spent a lot behind him and his mother, all of them, they support him very well. I wish his grandmother been alive to see him performance, hear his performance. But I know definitely that his grandfather and the whole family of him is feel very proud. But I think the country itself supposed to pay more attention to him, because there's a lot of people in him now what's going on. You understand? And I believe that, Devonne, that something like that supposed to be in highlight, and then you turn the children them now behind and you point them to him, how he's come up and what have you, and let it turn different package. You might get a 6 from here, you might get 4 from there. You understand? That will reduce the oil company that they will take and make the country a better country. That is all for now.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution to the program. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. It's 11:26, and thank you so much for joining me on the program for today. Great discussion that we are having thus far. If you have no more callers on the line right now, I think we could take a break, and when we come back, we'll definitely continue the conversation and continue to take your calls. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The future is unknown. Protect your life, your family, and your valuables from unforeseen circumstances. Let National Caribbean Insurance give you the peace of mind that you so deserve. At NCI, we offer a suite of affordable insurance plans that can be tailored to ease your financial burden. We aim to deliver exceptional products to satisfy all your insurance needs. Whether life, health, motor, or property insurance, NCI has the right solution for you. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales professionals are ready and able to assist you. Let National Caribbean Insurance Company Limited help you to prepare for the unexpected. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Delvin the Promoter and SKN Carnival Sugar Mass 53 presents.
Listen.
St. Kitts and Nevis 2024 Carnival Comedy Show. Performing live. Major High. Also featuring Vegas and Morris. Location. Carnival Village. December 7th, 2024. A night full of laughter. Showtime 8 p.m. Early bird special ends September 1st. Tickets on sale now at Jad Cash and online at eventbrite.com. Contact Delvin the Promoter for more info. Email delvinf12@gmail.com.
Hello and welcome back to The Edge on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I am Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me in the program for today. The phone lines are open, and we welcome your calls to join in the conversation. Just to do a bit of a recap in terms of what we've touched on. As I mentioned, it's more of an open discussion, giving callers the opportunity to raise matters of national importance. People are calling for an increased, what's the word I'm looking for here? For us to talk more or to push more or to publicize more about Michael Louis on his selection to the West Indies test squad. But I think Kittichans and divisions alike have to do their part. If you want more to be said about the young man, you have to take charge of that. You have to take the lead. You can't just wait for others to come out and say something. I've heard commendations coming from a number of notable people and organizations in St. Kitts and Nevis, but my response to the comments or the question is, if you want more to be said, then you have to join in ensuring that that word gets out, whether you just share the post on your social media platform or you engage in a conversation at a bar or at a restaurant. That is you adding to making it the national discourse, where everybody is now talking about this young man from St. Kitts being selected and has made history. A caller made a very good point that had it been a case where this young man had done something that is not good or something that is negative, it would have been all over and people would have been talking about it left, right, and center. We need to big up our young people and our people in general when they do great things for our country, when they make a positive contribution to our society. And I think when you do that, it goes a long way, and it doesn't just remain on the surface, but it means a lot, and it acts as a way of encouragement. And so that definitely needs to happen. A caller made the point about the opposition, and I'm going to look more into that regarding an opposition. I don't know if he was talking about a conference or a body or whatever, but in any democracy there must be a strong opposition. And as I made the point earlier, you just don't want an opposition that is going to oppose everything, and you don't want an opposition that is going to say yes to everything. But the opposition must present realistic ideas. The opposition must add to the national discourse. But then again, we're dealing with politicians, and if you know politics, you know how politicians are. And I leave it there with regards to that. But in a democracy, you need a strong opposition. If not, then I don't know what else to say. But as I mentioned earlier, you don't want an opposition that is going to say yes to everything and an opposition that is going to say no to everything, because sometimes I find that people just oppose for opposing sake, and they don't add anything meaningful to the conversation, and they don't make a suggestion or an idea that makes actual sense. And at the same time, you have oppositions that they tiptoe and they behave as if they're walking on eggshells or on glass, and so they tiptoe and they're afraid to talk about the real issues. They're afraid to speak about the issues that the ordinary man are facing, and that is sad. It's 11:32, the phone lines are open, and we're taking your calls. Call us at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. If you're just tuning in, we are not on any specific topic for today. It's more of an open discussion. You can call in and make a contribution regarding a matter of national interest, whether it is something that has happened here in St. Kitts and Nevis or across the Caribbean region. Now, recently there has been a reintroduction of the talk about regional integration, or the free movement of CARICOM nationals across the region and people moving to different member states. And this conversation came about, or was reintroduced back into the national discourse on the heels or following the information released from the Department of Statistics as it relates to the population in St. Kitts and Nevis. And some people were of the view that the population in St. Kitts and Nevis could have been more, should have grown more. And to record just over 4,000 people in 11 years, over a decade, is not a positive look. And so, with that revelation from the Department of Statistics, people reintroduce the conversation of the free movement of CARICOM nationals. Now, for any country to thrive, whether it be in education, healthcare, social and community development, and generally the country, for any country to thrive, you need people. You need people to do the work, and not just people for people's sake, but people who are skilled, people who are experienced, people who bring something meaningful, and people who bring something different to the table. That is what you need for development. And anybody would tell you that. And so hence the reason why people, reintroduce the conversation of the free movement of CARICOM nationals. Now, I want us to remove from our minds, remove from our mindset that everybody is coming here to take our jobs and everybody is coming here to take what belongs to us. Our people must begin to prepare themselves to compete. And while I believe that in any country, nationals must come first. If you're in Jamaica, Jamaicans come first. If you are in Antigua, Antiguans come first. If you are in St. Kitts and Nevis, the nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis come first. And I'm not arguing that. What I am saying is that we cannot be xenophobic to our Caribbean brothers and sisters and say, well, because they come from that country or this country, we don't want them here. When in fact, majority of them are here and they are making a meaningful contribution and they are adding towards the development of our country in various areas. And it brings the question, what are you doing? And many a times you have people who are born Kittitians and Nevisians who have lived here their entire life and they have not made a single contribution to their country. And I say that with no water in my mouth. They have not made a contribution. And they tell themselves, well, I am a band, so I must get everything before everybody else. And we should not have that mentality. We should not. Because then you're going to become dependent on the state and you're going to be in a case where you're not marketable. Nobody is going to want to reach out to you or to have you to be a part of anything. And so in order for a country to grow, as I made mention of earlier, you need people who are skilled. Hence the reason why there has been this focus on skills training. We need people who are skilled. And you're not going to find people skilled in every single industry or every single sector in St. Kitts and Nevis. People are going to have to come from other countries and vice versa. Kittitians and Nevisians are going to have to go to other parts of the Caribbean and other parts of the world to make their contribution as well. And that is just the way it is. But we cannot continue to say that people are coming here and they're taking our jobs. What are you doing to compete for that job? What are you doing to contribute? And these are the questions that we must begin to ask ourselves. We need to remove ourselves from this lazy mindset and begin to challenge ourselves. It's 11:37. The phone lines are open and we are welcoming your calls. 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. But I really love the conversation of the regional or the free movement of CARICOM nationals, while I am one who would say that it is not something that you should do blindly. And I can tell you that the Caribbean governments, they're not approaching the situation blindly. And some people may want to make it out like that is what is happening. There is no government that is participating in this free movement of CARICOM nationals that are participating in it or going into it blindly. They're doing their homework and they are ensuring that all things are in order before they completely or totally commit to it. And that is how it should be. But I love the conversation because it talks about the movement of people, and not just people, but it talks about the movement of skills. It talks about the movement of experience. Just yesterday I spoke about the build out of the Information and Communications Technology Network for the Ministry of Health. So you could have a case where a specialist in Cuba could be video conferenced and save a life here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And that relates to the free movement of people. With the free movement of people, that person could come from wherever they are, if the country is participating in the circle, but wherever they are, and contribute their services here. Because it could very well be a case where we don't have that skill set, we don't have that experience that may be needed at that point in time. So we can't have this crab in a barrel mentality that St. Kitts and Nevis should only have Kittitians and divisions. The country will not grow like that. We need people. People with skills and people who are going to bring something different and meaningful to the table. We'll take this break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge for Friday, June 7th, 2024. Stay tuned.
Hi, children. This one is just for you. It's the
ZIZ Children's Connection Program.
This Saturday on this radio station.
Come listen.
Join me, Uncle N, and my co-host,
Sir Michael Robin, and Jaden Holland, and other children just like us, ages 5 to 12. To listen and participate in exciting stories,
powerful lessons,
math quizzes,
and wise words.
Also win prizes and surprises. That's cool! ECCB Children's Connection Program.
Make sure you check out ZIZ Radio this Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for this exciting program designed just for you.
Attention all local businesses. Get the word out using ZIZ Radio and television with our special Father's Day promotion. Whether you're a boutique, a restaurant, or a tech startup, showcase your brand and make this Father's Day unforgettable. Join us in honoring dads everywhere and promoting your business at the same time. Contact our marketing department at 465-2621 to learn more about our exclusive Father's Day advertising packages. Make this Father's Day one to remember with ZIZ Radio and television, where families and businesses come together.
Hello, welcome back to the conversation. It's 11:44. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today. The phone lines remain open, and we take your calls at 465-2555 or 718-577-2916. If you're just tuning in, it's an open discussion, giving the listeners an opportunity to call and make a contribution as it relates to matters of national importance. And so we're not focusing on anything in particular, anything specific, but you can call and make your contribution. If you're just tuning in again, the conversation has been about Michael Louis and the great work that he has been doing. And I'm in a quick conversation here. And I also want to make special mention of Cornelius Crook. He too has been doing some great work in cricket. And yes, I'm a young person, so I am going to be biased to young people. We need to big up our young people. We're always quick to make mention of them whenever they are not doing positive things. And so whenever they do positive things, we need to make it a big deal. And we need to talk about them, and we need to let the world know that they exist, that the world know that we have great people here in St. Kitts and Nevis. So big shout out to Cornelius Crook as well, who has been doing some great work in the area of cricket. He has been doing some fantastic work. So we've been talking about Michael Louis and his historic selection to the West Indies Test squad, and we spoke briefly about the the hurricane season that is upon us, and the preparations that need to be done to ensure that we are ready for it, and opposition, the role of the opposition in ensuring that governments are held accountable. But I just wanted to share quickly with you regarding the preparation for the Atlantic hurricane season. So they had a press conference on the 4th, which would have been on Tuesday at the Marriott Resort, and the event was scheduled ahead of the CDM conference, which is projected for December this year. So the CDM conference is expected to draw more than 400 disaster practitioners and stakeholders from around the globe, and CDM is an integrated and proactive approach to disaster management, aiming to reduce the risk and loss associated with natural and technological hazards and the effects of climate change, thereby enhancing regional sustainable development. The press conference, CDIMA, that is the Regional Intergovernmental Agency responsible for disaster management within the Caribbean Community CARICOM, encompassing 19 participating states. So those states are Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, the Cayman Islands, Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, Montserrat, of course, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, TNT, Turks and Caicos, and the Virgin Islands. It is 11:47, and you're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne, Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today. A great conversation that we have had on those topics. Let me share with you that the National Security Advisor, Dr. Lionel Rollins, will be joining me on Monday to have a conversation on the government's role in crime prevention and the role that he plays in ensuring that there is a successful rollout of strategies to combat crime and violence. And so he joins me on Monday, that's the 10th of June 2024, to have a conversation on crime prevention here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and how to get further support from the community. That is definitely needed when you're fighting crime. Crime cannot just be the community alone. It cannot just be the police. It cannot just be government. But it must be an all-of-society approach, as many people have been calling for. When you're fighting crime, it must be an all-of-society approach. It can't be a one-man thing. That ain't gonna work. It has to be an all-of-society approach. And so, again, he joins me on Monday, and I encourage you to tune in. And, of course, I'll be giving you an opportunity to pose your questions as well as it relates to crime prevention in St. Kitts and Nevis. Let us acknowledge some of our sponsors quickly, and when we come back, we'll begin wrapping up our program. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation quickly.
Attention all local businesses. Get the word out using ZIZ Radio and television with our special Father's Day promotion. Whether you're a boutique, a restaurant, or a tech startup, showcase your brand and make this Father's Day unforgettable. Join us in honoring dads everywhere and promoting your business at the same time. Contact our marketing department at 465-2621 to learn more about our exclusive Father's Day advertising packages. Make this Father's Day one to remember with ZIZ Radio and television, where families and businesses come together.
Welcome back to the program. We begin wrapping up our conversation for today. So let me say thank you so much for your contribution to the discussion at hand. And I look forward to engaging with you in the coming week ahead. And again, just a bit of a recap in terms of what we've touched on for today. Michael Louis, his selection to the West Indies Test squad. And a number of people have been congratulating him. And there has been a call for more to congratulate him and to make mention of this notable achievement. And I also want to make mention of Colonel Crook, who also has been doing great work in the area of cricket. We spoke about hurricane preparedness and, ensuring that the guts are cleared. You don't have a situation where the guts are clogged. And so these things need to be looked into, and not for us to wait until the hurricane actually gets to our shores and wreak havoc, and then we're scrambling like headless chickens. You don't want that. And to the powers that be and the people who are responsible for ensuring that these things are in order need to pay attention and need to do what they have to do. And a caller briefly commented on the role of the opposition with regard. He was of the opinion that the leader of the opposition, Mark Brantley, has not been as effective as he should be as leader of the opposition. That is the comment from the caller. And I made the point that in any democracy, you must have a strong opposition. And the role of the opposition, of course, you oppose things. That is why you're called opposition. But while you oppose, you also make a suggestion as to the way forward. It can't just be a case where you're opposing, and you're adding nothing meaningful to the discourse, and not adding nothing meaningful to the conversation, right? And so that is what is needed. If you're going to oppose, then make suggestions and say, okay, I don't think what the government has done here is the right thing, but this is what I am suggesting. This is what we are suggesting. And this is how we would have gone about doing it had it been us. Or this is how we'd like to see it being done. And I think that is what people want to hear, not just yes, and no. That is sad, or else, democracy will be threatened. And that is how I feel about it. Democracy will be threatened if you don't have a strong opposition. That is how it is. That is how I feel about it. Democracy will be threatened if you do not have a strong opposition. I'm out of time, and so I'm going to have to make way for the midday newscast. Until next time, you guys stay safe. Continue to enjoy the rest of your Friday. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Please take your time on the road. You guys have a good one. See you on Monday.